All right, so we are once again back with Bivy Brink recapping the summit, a CBS show, and I'm joined as always with the amazing, incredible show-stopping co-host Eric. Eric, how you doing?
I am doing well, Tim. A little bit tired. Not my throat trying to go out. Oh wow. But I'm doing well despite feeling under the weather in life, and as life always does, right? But
Mhm.
I'm glad to be here with the equally amazing and phenomenal
Oh,
Tim as my co-host.
thank you, thank you. But yes, life be life in between again daylight savings
Mhm.
and it getting dark at 2 p.m. It feels like life has just been putting me through it. But on
Listen.
better news, you
Hmm.
know, I'm getting closer and closer to being like Dr. Jeff because
Come
I'm no
on.
longer a PhD student because I'm a PhD candidate now.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so we,
Come
we
on.
celebrate that. We celebrate that.
PhD candidate Dr. Tim.
It, oh,
Everybody,
it's on the way. It's on the
give him
way.
a round of applause.
Thank you. Just like these players are on this way up this summit.
They are
Eric.
coming to the end. Yes.
So pretty much in this episode, to begin, we're just seeing the impacts of the last vote,
Hmm.
where Patty, of course, was voted out. And listen, it still hurts us to this day.
You see, I'm in my black seats. Him, he missed the code.
You're
You know,
right.
he's supposed to wear black for Patty.
You're
He
right.
do.
You're right. Let me go change.
It's a 2 week mourning situation.
Listen, between in these last 2 weeks, it's been a lot of mourning.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Mm.
it's between seems like this episode is gonna be between Dennis once again on the chopping block, and Jenny again on the chopping block
Mm-hmm.
for blowing up. And I don't think anything to me stands out before the challenge. Anything to you that stood out, especially before the challenge, you might want to get into?
Mm, I want to say, I mean, Amy touched on a little bit how, that Patty telling her
Hmm.
not to trust Nick, how that kind of threw her for a loop. And so that was kind of, she was talking about that just for a little bit at the beginning, just kind of trying to understand why Patty would do that because she was starting to build that relationship with Nick. And so she just said that was like something she'd be cautious about, which I guess it was indicative of what happened later on. So, I mean, I guess that was important for them to show us a little bit.
I do agree with that. I feel like if I'm in this situation and you're my ally, you're going home and you tell me to watch out for somebody, but this is somebody I'm working with, I too think I would be like, okay, well, I hear you,
Mhm.
but we're gonna see about it. That's just like if somebody said, oh, like they're having a sale at the grocery store down the street, cases of water for $1 or something. You're just
Mhm.
like, okay, yeah, I'm a be
I'm
on
gonna
the
check that
lookout for
out.
that. Yeah. But it's like, all right, I don't think I'm gonna actually just
Mm-mm,
drop
I ain't
everything.
to go there because do I really need a case of water right now? No. And even if I
Right.
did, do I want to go to that? Like, do I feel like taking the time out to go there today? Like, no, probably not.
Exactly. And it's like, do I feel like dropping this ally right now? It's like, do I really feel like they putting me in danger?
Hmm.
Are they really that untrustworthy? I don't know, but I'm gonna
Pros
take
and
your
cons
word for it. Yeah, pros and cons.
because your ally could be working on bad information and they could be trying to help you on their way out, but it could be bad information that they're trying to, and it can mess you up completely if you take
Hmm.
their word for it and they're wrong, right? So she's right to be cautious. She's right to be cautious, and we'll see how that plays out later on.
And another thing, Jenny and her knee is still hurting.
Mm. She
So
working on the day 2 injury.
listen, she's still trying her best to get through it, trying to go
Mhm.
up this mountain. And we found out that she injured it pretty early on into the game. Like, I don't think we really saw exactly what happened, but I do remember seeing that scene she described where it was the bushes that everybody had to walk through.
Mhm.
And apparently there was a hole. She stuck her foot in it
Yeah,
accidentally, and it just like her knee.
and
And
it
when I
just hasn't
heard
healed.
that,
Mm.
mm,
And it's apparently, according to Nick, it's black, purple, blue. It's the color of the rainbow, and we know your skin is turning anything but what it's supposed to be. It ain't good.
Right. And I know that she was in pain because, right, fun lore fact, my middle fingers, right? One of my middle fingers is actually bigger than my other middle finger. My right
Hmm.
middle finger is bigger than my left one. And therefore, I can't wear the same ring I can wear on my left hand on my right hand because it will not fit. But when that injury happened, I was in pain. Like it was just a fracture. It wasn't even like a break-in. It was just
Uh-huh.
like a really hard stub, and it's like
How did
I
you
turned
injure
from a
it?
man to a baby playing football. Playing football.
You was playing
This was
football
like
too?
this was a while in my neighborhood with my
Oh,
friends and my cousins. Let me clarify.
wait,
I,
let me find out you was on the field too.
listen, I was a running back for my sophomore year in high school
Okay,
years ago. I was on that bench, but that's okay. But
that's all right.
but I bring this up because like I was trying to catch the football and it just like jammed it. Either
Mm-hmm.
that happened or like somebody ran it to me and I jammed it on them.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember being in pain
Mm.
and I immediately was like,
It was you.
yeah,
I'm out.
y'all got it. So for her to go up this mountain with like tendons like
And
broken and like ripped
something ain't
and
right.
something ain't right.
And for me, I've never broken anything, sprained anything, torn. Like I haven't done any of that, so I don't know what that type of pain look like and what it feel like.
Mhm,
So I'm just like just looking at it. There's no way. I know me, and I don't think necessarily have a high pain tolerance. I just got a lot of heart sometimes, so I just push through.
mhm.
But I just know, just one little that would have taken one little piece of tender. You see, you know how I've had like something be tender or something like that, from
Mhm.
a hit or whatever. So it's like, nah, I know that wouldn't have worked. So kudos to her for pushing through as she did because couldn't be me.
Listen, I stubbed my toe and I feel my soul leave my body.
Gone, okay, at the gates.
Okay.
Telling you.
But yes, and it makes this upcoming challenge even more difficult because
Mhm.
they're at this gorge and they have to go across this gorge with just like ropes. Last time we got planks for a
Mhm.
bridge.
Not this time,
One time it was zip lining. It's just rope. It's just you
bro.
and a rope. And if you're religious, whoever God you believe in,
Whatever
because
God
you're
you
gonna
serve.
need it. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it.
How about
Uh,
they was being messy talking about you had to look down? How you gonna tell me I gotta look down?
when I heard that, I was like, okay, shade to Theron.
Yeah, right, right, right. Oh man.
Yeah, and everybody that's afraid of heights, because it's like I can close my eyes, I
Hmm.
can try to scoot across like that, but
Yeah.
it was definitely shady. I'm like, okay, you're making these folks scared before they
On
go
purpose,
across
talking
here.
about look down. Like, what do I want to? But I can't just
Hmm.
keep my eyes on the prize. That'll help me. Just look straight, Eric. Just move. Just go. Just go. Just go. Don't look down. What I'm looking down for?
Hmm. Hmm. I found it interesting in this challenge that they again, of course, have to leave one person behind at the very end. And I'm thinking, like, okay, is this person gonna get some kind of advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Jenny got an advantage. Is this person gonna potentially get chopped? Bo,
Gotcha.
um, he
Mm-hmm.
fell out the sky, like a crane. Um, so it's like, do you put yourself in this spot to be the person who stays behind? Do you like be like, absolutely not? Like, and we see Dennis like choose to be at the end, which I thought was
Mm-hmm.
smart.
To take the money.
Hmm.
I I had a gripe with that aspect of the challenge because it didn't make sense. Because they
Mm,
made it seem like the last person had to carry all of the bags over there when all he did, Dusty did, because it ended up being Dusty, and we can talk about how she got changed to Dusty.
mm.
But all he did was hook them to the zip line and send them over. So why was that such a
Yeah.
big? Why they couldn't do that at first? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did it have to be a big deal about the last person it has to I don't trust who I trust with the money. It ain't like they gotta carry and they could drop it. Was it
Mhm.
maybe how tight he tied it together, man? I don't what was your thoughts about that? Because it didn't make sense when
Yeah.
I saw it.
I feel like I was looking for more. I feel like, okay, is this a twist where it's like you can steal one person's bag and they just like out of the game, right? Or it's like you can steal some personal money for yourself just to take home $5,000, $10,000, however
Hmm.
much, and for them to go through the effort of not only picking Dusty, but then like switching it from Dennis, just for Dennis to just or seem like just clip it onto the zip line and just like,
Yeah.
and he didn't even have to push it across. It was everybody else that was pulling it.
Hello.
So it's like they really the ones that's doing the work in this
Right. He
situation.
had to do nothing. Essentially. So it really, that's why I was like, that didn't make sense. When I saw it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Dennis could have did that. But it was funny
Yeah.
because when he volunteered, Jenny was like, they gonna make the most untrustworthy person. I put our money in his hands. Absolutely not. Shit, we're gonna do something about that. So when
Ooh.
Dennis went up on his time to go scoot across the thing, she was like, so oh no, it wasn't. He got up and left somewhere. He forgot what he
Mhm.
did.
I don't know if you maybe went to the restroom or
He
something.
went somewhere. And Jenny
Yeah.
was like, so I don't know about Dennis doing that. I just feel like we can't choose somebody else. And who among us that's not Dennis do we trust getting their money across? And so
I
they were like,
was
oh, yeah. Oh, she brought up, she was like, and then when he talking about that little shoulder injury, he had 2 surgeries or something. I'm like, see, that's why you can't be running your mouth because you will forget what you done told people. Because that would have
mhm.
been my first thing. Ain't your shoulder messed up? So how you think you're gonna carry 9 bags of money?
Mm. And that's a good point because how do you fight back in that spot? You can't really, and
You
he
can't.
couldn't. And Jenny was smart. I feel like it could have been any explanation. It could have been anything as long as it wasn't Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
In previous times when people voting for people, we were like, okay, people just using random logic, right? But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, Dennis, your name starts with the letter D. You know what else starts with the letter D? Drop, as in like
Drop.
you're gonna drop these bags and our money, But then
Right.
it's like, what about Dusty? Dusty got you as the second letter, meaning you, Dennis should not do it. Dusty should do it. But you
um,
gotta.
yeah. So they was like, oh yeah, Pumpkin was like, by the way, while you was gone, we just decided we're gonna just let Dusty do it. Just so you know.
Mhm,
And he's like, oh dang. He's like, well, this is not good because I was trying to be, show that I'm trustworthy by showing, pulling my weight but now they don't trust me though. This is not looking good. I'm like, no, it's not looking good. And it shouldn't look good. And so
mhm,
he knows the hellhounds are on his track. They are coming for him in this
mhm,
game, and his time is coming to it. It's close where it should be. Um, and so he's really trying to do any and everything that he can,
mhm.
truly, to stay.
Yeah, yeah. And if the hound dogs are on his trail, I think they're gonna get thrown off their scent because we see a booty scoot across these ropes in this challenge that I personally loved. I thought it was
I
so
did.
clever, so
It was.
smart. Uh, of course, like Jenny having her hurt knee, she's just like, I'm gonna just like Spider-Man crab walk across it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Cause
I'm like,
cause she tried it the regular way.
mhm,
And I'm like, oh, y'all set her up because y'all know this girl got knee problems and her knees all banged up. And she gotta put her knee on this rope and get 60, and it's 65 feet, mind you, right
mhm.
to the other side. I don't know how far that is. I
That's
don't know how long
far.
that takes.
I feel like how let me not document myself being dumb because I was gonna say how big is a football field?
100 feet, 100, it's 100
Okay.
yards, not
So
100 feet.
yeah, so that's like almost a little over half a football field.
Yeah.
That's a lot of distance,
Because it's what it's 3 feet in
right?
1 yard. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not a math person, so I'm not even about to try to do it in my head. It's
yeah.
far, is what
It's
it sounds
far.
like to me.
It is far.
So yeah, the booty scoop was genius.
Mhm,
Kudos to her. Even Dennis, I was honestly thinking what he was doing, just drag yourself across, lay down and drag myself across too, honestly.
mhm,
Or I even thought like maybe if you put your feet on their rope and just kind of use your shoes and just kind of
mhm.
like kind of pull yourself through. But the booty scoop works too.
It did. It did. I definitely felt like it was easier than other strategies, but all in all, everybody got across.
Yeah.
It took a couple tries for a couple folks, but everybody got
Listen,
across.
Andy had me cracking up too because they were like, "Come on, what?" Then he's like, "Darren's probably one of the funniest people we ever had on the reality TV." come on, bounce that thing over here, Amy. And she was bouncing it. I was like, okay, bounce that, put it like a basketball. I was not mad at it. Yes, Amy, get over that by any means necessary, girl. Get over
Listen,
it.
motivate. Let's go. Like, let's get to this checkpoint so I can eat some food.
Yeah,
Uh, which we found out they don't have
they
food.
don't have no food. They wrong. Talking about because of the conditions. We'll fix the conditions, Manu. You doing everything else.
I'm like, y'all better go get this mountains keeper to go to the near city.
Right.
Get
And go
like it
find
can
us some.
be a Burger King, it can be anything except for Arby's. You know, if
Oh,
if 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 Jenny was like anybody but Dennis, I'm like anything but Arby's.
what did
You know,
Arby's do to you?
I don't think Arby's is that good. Like curly fries, hit or miss.
What? I love
The hit or
Arby's.
miss.
I don't go all the time, but every now and again, that roast beef sandwich. Woo! It'll do
Mhm.
something for me.
Listen, so you like Patty, you want to keep Dennis and Arby's in business, huh? But yes, they don't have no food and they have to carry these bags up this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out these bags are heavy because you got, I guess, like kitchen ingredients in there,
Mm-hmm.
maybe groceries in
Utensils.
there.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like if I can go grocery shopping to my local giant and carry all my bags in both of my hands,
Yeah.
with all my groceries in one trip,
One trick.
we can do this. We can get these groceries to this checkpoint.
Because
You know,
they were 75 pounds. Is that what they said? I want to say they said it was like 75 pounds.
yeah, yeah, 75.
Oof. I don't know. Can I carry? I mean, it
Mhm.
is like on a backpack, so that's a little different,
True.
you
Mhm.
know. So, and it's like in a box like thing. So I would think that helps. But traversing mountain terrain with the 75 pounds on there,
Mhm.
that adds a little difficult. I need to get back in the gym. I'm like, I don't know if I'd be confident to be able to pull that. But we have who volunteered. We had Pumpkin
Mhm.
volunteered to carry one. We had was it Theron volunteered to carry one,
Uh-huh,
and then
and
Not Becky Lee. Was it Becky Lee? Yeah, Becky Lee. Did she carry one?
I know there were some folks who carried the backpacks for the people who carried the food bags, and I think that's where, we see, like of course, like you said, Pumpkin carried a food bag, Theron carried a food bag.
Yeah, I think it was
Um,
Becky Lee.
I thought it was yeah, I think it was either Baker Lee or Dennis. One of them carried one kind
Dennis
of
took the
bag.
backpack. He took an extra
Yes,
bag.
that's what it was. He took the
Yeah.
backpack.
Him, Nick, and
Um,
Dusty took an extra bag.
mhm,
Speaking of, real quick, before we move on, I need to
mhm,
rewind. While Pumpkin was going across that rope, Mr. Nick, what is your issue?
mm.
Because why you asking Theron, how far are you trying to take Pumpkin to the end? Oh, how close are you with Pumpkin? Hmm. And you want to talk about, oh, she just getting a little close with everybody. So I think Pumpkin might need to go, and she's a threat.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Asking Theron that.
Asking there,
I'm not saying nothing. Uh,
my Inspector Gadget goggles are on. I see you, Nick. I see you. I see you. Because you didn't ask nobody else that. Why you didn't ask Becky Lee that? If you saw, oh, she getting close to Amy, she getting close to Becky Lee. Why you didn't ask Becky Lee that? Why you didn't ask Amy that? Why you asking Theron? You trying to see if he gonna choose her over? Oh, he might. I don't. They might choose Pumpkin over me. So Pumpkin might need to go. Why they one of them can't go?
mhm,
That's all I want to say. I just wanted to know. I just say I caught that,
yeah.
and there was like, I mean, we all right. I mean, yeah, we want to go to the end. He played it well. I think he did it well from what we saw. I think he played it off really well. But
Mhm,
it was annoying. Cause I'm like, Nick, are you kidding me?
mhm. I agree. I definitely feel like he deflected it really great, and like made it into something that it's not. So hopefully we can see both of them make it to the summit.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately for this round is one person in particular who we see not make it to
Yeah.
that summit, and that person is none other than Miss
Ooh.
Meowtie herself, Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
I really do feel like I appreciated seeing Jenny as a character on the show, especially in these later episodes. It's like
Mm-hmm.
she just like chopped off the lock to the like no BSing, just like being
None.
straightforward, calling people out,
Hmm.
being a tough fighter in terms of just sticking it out with this injured knee when there were other people who left because of health and injuries.
Yeah.
So
And, and
yeah.
and just to add on to your point, like she is a true fighter. Like we got to see that she survived ovarian cancer. Did she say
Yes.
ovarian cancer?
Mhm.
She is a warrior in real life, and like she teach Muay Thai, and as she was telling us, that's the punching and kicking of MMA.
Mhm.
And like she truly is a warrior in her real life. Like shout out to her for overcoming cancer, because we know a lot of people don't always overcome that, and so for
Mhm.
her to do that and still bring that same fight, that same resiliency, and that same fire to the show was, and just her authentic self. She was like, listen, I was almost out of here and I made it. So I refuse to get up out here and not be myself and let anybody, whether I go home or not, I'm gonna speak my mind. I'm gonna tell it like it is, and I'm gonna push through. This little leg might be about to fall off, but you know what, Manu, I'm gonna make it up this mountain because first of all, don't be giving me the ultimatum in front of everybody, Manu. So you
Yeah.
think if I told you right now you gotta cross this, you gonna make it to I'll see you there.
I'm like,
That's
well, is the elephant heavy?
it's the elephant. I'm coming back.
Because
Yes.
absolutely. Listen,
You
I
have to
feel
be a
like
certain demographic and age group to know that joke. If is the elephant heavy,
listen,
you have
I
to know.
I feel like Jenny is such a fighter in that if we was in a zombie apocalypse and she got bit by a zombie, she would just amputate the leg in
She
that
would.
moment because she gonna
She would.
survive. And I do have such respect for her for not only just climbing this mountain with this injured knee, which we found out
Mhm.
is like like a real serious injury,
It's
but
bad.
like for being cancer, like I have family members who've like gone through the
Same.
journey to beat cancer. So that's a whole lot of respect.
Yeah.
And it just shows how much strength people have, and how we could always, just as people in general and viewers of shows,
Mhm.
reconsider what we think as strength, you
Mhm.
know, for sure.
Absolutely. And in this vote, it was some contention and some drama
Mhm.
surrounding this vote because some people wanted Dennis to be gone, and then others obviously wanted Jenny. Even Amy's name got thrown out there a couple of times, and so
Mhm.
it seems like the group is fracturing. It's nine of them, and some group, some of the people want Dennis, right? So we know Pumpkin's like, I ain't voting out Jenny.
Mhm.
Dusty, he wants Dennis head on the plate. And then you have obviously Jenny, she's want him gone. And so we're looking at, okay, so who's the other vote? And Amy's like, with it. She's like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And so
Mhm.
then you have the Therons and Becky. They're kind of like, no, we still need Dennis. And Nick, we still need Dennis. Um, and then Jeannie, she gonna vote with wherever Nick go.
Mhm.
Or Dennis go. I'm sorry, because her and Dennis had this bond for wherever they came from,
Mhm.
and he didn't even pick you to
Oop.
Jeannie. I just really trying to understand her game because
Yeah.
sis, these people have showed you none of them really trust you like that. You are
Mhm.
being used as a tool in somebody else's game,
Mhm.
and I just trust Dennis. I can't vote against Dennis. That's my. Hmm, did your boy choose you when you had to climb by yourself? Okay, thought I was tripping, but anyway,
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought I was tripping,
Yeah.
and so it's like okay, so and then Nick pulls Amy aside, like yeah, it's gonna be unanimous, so yeah, you gotta vote Jenny out. You, she's like, I gotta. That would in my face got to.
Yeah.
Who said I gotta what? Only thing I gotta pay is taxes.
Okay. Because the IRS do not play.
That's the only thing
The-
I gotta do.
yeah.
Really.
And
Um,
wake up and breathe and drink
yeah,
water and go to sleep and
go to
continue the
sleep.
cycle. So yeah,
Yeah.
for her to be put in a position where it's like, okay, well, it's gonna be unanimous. Like this is just part of it is how it's gonna go,
Mm-hmm.
and for her to be like, okay, and when the vote comes around, we see like Manu asks, okay, who's gonna vote for Dennis? And if Amy sees hands go up, she's like, oh, well, I guess it's unanimous against Dennis then. So she
Yeah.
raises her hand just for it to not go that way. I feel like she was right in calling him out because it's like
Was.
I don't feel like it's okay. Like you told me where to vote. Not necessarily that. It's like if you're gonna say it's one thing, it's gonna have to be that one thing. And it's already in the back of my head that I shouldn't trust you. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
fool me once. Like you fooled Patty once. Shame
Right.
on you. You fooled Patty, you can't fool me.
Right.
And in that moment, I think Amy felt fooled
Yeah,
by
she did.
the vote not being unanimous. So I do felt like her calling him out was like the right move for her game in
I
the sense
agree.
of like putting a target on somebody else in one, and then the third thing just like calling it out because it's like, wow.
And if we, yes, exactly. And if we look back to rewind, when she was sitting down in the grass, she even told Dusty and Becky Lee, I believe, that what Patty told her. It's like, Patty told me that I should be, not sure. I'm not really sure why. And they were all like, yeah, we can see Nick kind of playing hard, So they kind of Nick is on some. I guess they see it, whether they plan to do anything about it or not, you
Mhm.
know. So other people see how he's playing the game, and so we'll see how that goes. Even that little flashback, I guess, before the challenge too. Nick and Dusty had a little conversation, but Dusty was kind of like, "Yeah, Nick. I mean, yeah, whatever." But I'm here to play the game for myself. Like Dusty,
Mhm.
don't. What one thing about Dusty? He is consistent. This man don't care about nobody else in this game. He is
Mhm.
trying to get to the end, try to get to the summit. Everybody else be danged. So, but shout out Amy because I agree with you. He needs to be called out, and for him to try to twist her words, she ain't say that you tell her where to vote, but you did tell her that you gotta vote Jenny because it's gonna be unanimous.
Mhm.
So you, in theory, you did tell me where to vote, but she just decided to go the other way because she thought, oh, maybe it's the. I was just confused. I was wrong about
Mhm.
where the unanimity. I'm not even gonna try to say where the unanimity was.
Unanimity.
I don't hear that. I'm not even gonna
I,
try to say it.
yeah.
Where that was.
Yeah.
And so I agree. I felt she genuinely felt fooled. And what you're not gonna do is have me on TV looking a fool.
Mhm.
So I'm glad she voted the way she did. I just hate that it wasn't enough. Um, because Jenny got sent home and oh boy is just cackling. Dennis wins again. I don't understand it, but the man
Yeah.
got 9 lives.
Okay, maybe he's the real Meow Tai.
He's the real man time.
Maybe he stole Jenny's life, one of Jenny lives in this game. Seriously,
Had
he's been
to.
on the chopping block a couple times. Maybe he. I'll bring it up every episode. It seems like maybe he's Agatha in this situation. Maybe
Is Dennis
he's
all
fooling
alone?
these people. It's not even the summit. It's Dennis all along, like you said. He made up the summit. It's just to
Yeah.
show, for him to get to the very end and steal everybody's money.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he doesn't care if somebody gets hurt. Hey,
He done. He literally said he was laughing at her being in pain. He's like, "Y'all gonna hate me, but I don't care."
I'm like, yeah, this man is playing the villain for the show. Definitely
Villain,
playing the villain.
through and through.
But
So
as we get ready to just I guess sum up the episode, is there anything you feel like we missed so far that you want to touch on?
I don't think we missed anything. I think we made it to the final 8. You
Yeah.
know, um, and we still got everybody's playing the game now. I think the game is
hmm
on. You being the slowest person is not really a factor. I know they keep bringing it
hmm
up. I mean, that's not even why they got rid of Jenny. If we're being honest, even though like Manu brought up, "Oh, you slowing people down because you're," that ain't even why they got rid of her.
Yeah.
They got rid of her because it was beneficial for their game to keep Raggedy Dennis. Which you know what I call him Raggedy. I don't really just think he Raggedy. I don't know the man. Just in this context of the game, Raggedy.
Mhm.
For my purposes, of the people I'm rooting for, Raggedy. But I mean, they keeping him for game purposes, so it wasn't even that she was slow. I mean,
Yeah.
Amy is doing an excellent job at keeping up and trying to be at the front and still trying to do her best and pushing through. So it's a numbers game now. So we're at
Mhm.
a 5-3. So what it kind of looked like, on one end we got Dusty, Pumpkin, and Amy versus Becky Lee, Dennis, Nick, Theron, and Jeannie. But then it's
Mhm.
really not even that because you also have Becky Lee, Amy, and Pumpkin. They got a little something going on, and then Theron is a
Mhm.
part of that too. And that's Amy told Dusty that. I think she was like, you need to get yourself together because you just out here by yourself. You need some allies, brother.
Yeah, she's like, this is a game, and I do think as we head into these final episodes, like me personally, I feel like Nick and Jeannie on the chopping block in some way. I don't know how Jeannie gonna get on the chopping block. Maybe it's like a concern about getting toward the final summit, and maybe it gets
Mhm.
extremely tough. Because again, I think Jeannie, not Jeannie, Jeannie is the oldest player in the game.
Mhm.
Which I'm not stating is like a weakness necessarily.
No,
Um, but for her to be in this group at this point at this stage to still be kind of like following other people as a strategy, I don't think it might work out when it comes to like being cutthroat at the end.
it
Because
never
if you're just
does.
following the orders, what happens when that order is against you?
We've seen it already. Literally, we've time and time again we've seen it. But we seen it on this show too. Not even other shows. Like is you Rob following orders from the other side got sniped the next episode. So it's just like it's only a matter
Mhm.
of time, sister girl, because you keeping Dennis around or whatever. But so what happens when it's you versus Dennis now? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they
Mhm.
decide it's just better to keep him
Mhm.
again and again, which they've consistently done. So
Mhm.
we're gonna see how it shake out. I just know y'all better leave Amy and Pumpkin alone, leave my boy Theron alone, and the rest of
Mhm.
y'all can do what y'all gotta do. That's all I
E- e-
need. Pumpkin, Amy,
exactly.
and Theron at the end, I will be happy.
I agree. I agree. And if it's more spots open than that, we can have people fight it out for it.
Yeah.
Honestly, hot take. I would like to see Danish there. I
Yeah,
love a
no, he
good
deserved
villain.
it. Yeah, and
I
yeah,
love a
he
good
do
villain.
because y'all want, and I want him to beat Nick and Becky Lee because y'all were the ones that keep saving his man. Talking about, oh, we want to push him further because there's less eyes on me. Less, well, it ain't too many eyes left in the game. So y'all keep
Mhm.
talking about there's less eyes on you. Somebody looking at you. If I wish I could turn my eye one way, somebody's looking at you. Whether if they're not looking directly at you, somebody eyes cocked to the side and they got it on
Mhm.
you. Because I
Mhm.
would. So yeah.
Listen, it's we getting less and less mountain with less and less players because we getting toward the summit.
Mhm.
And for now, we got less and less time for this episode because we are wrapping it up. But for the moment where people can find you when they're looking for more and more of the summit and more of Eric, where can they find you?
Absolutely. So you can find me on my podcast channel at A Who All Gonna Be There podcast on YouTube. And we're also on Twitter and Instagram at A Who All There. That's AYE Who All There. On my personal Twitter is Rock in Rollerson, and on Instagram is Rock and Rollerson, even though it's pronounced Rollerson. And then my personal YouTube channel where I'm talking about all things Marvel, DC, fantasy, anime, those sorts of things. Got a lot of stuff coming that I need to do and catch up on and put out, but that is on the Ear Chronicles, TheEar, as in the ear on your head, Chronicles on YouTube.
I know that's right. Listen, Marvel Rivals right around the corner, so I'm ready for it. Uh, but yeah, in the meantime, you can catch me here on Silent Podcast here with Eric. You can also find me on my Instagram at TimsgramB. Once you're there, you can just click the link in my bio. It'll take you to everywhere else where you can find me. But for now, I don't think we had our Bivy Brink.
No.
Let's hope that these next couple episodes don't take the players or us there. But in the meantime, y'all have made checkpoint, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Peace.